Interesting chord right there. C major 6-9 sharp 11. And on that ominous note, hello everybody, Lucas Haneman here. It is string changing day here in the Haneman household. I've got my lovely, beloved Melanson Stratocaster style guitar right here, which has extremely dead strings. I mean, it's, you know, it still sounds good. Let me turn off that tremolo. It still sounds good. But I've had these strings on for about 5 months, and they're just getting real dead. These are D'Addario NYXLs, and I find they last a really long time. But this year in particular, and last year, let's be honest, with the whole Coves situation in the world, I haven't been changing my strings quite as often on my electric guitars because I haven't been gigging on electric guitar. It's been all acoustic gigs for me ever since the pandemic began. Well, hopefully that'll change soon. So, anyways, in the spirit of reviving this beautiful guitar, I found a good deal online on some strings. I found these right here. These are the Ernie Ball. It's an Ernie Ball multi-pack. So I got online for $16 Canadian. It comes with 3 packs of strings, which I thought was a pretty stellar deal. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to try out some strings that I don't usually play. These are the 11 to 48 set. And I'm going to take you guys along for the journey while I do it. So I'm going to show you guys what I do in terms of, you know, changing my strings and what I'd like to do to kind of take care of my guitar as I do that. One little thing, just a little word of advice before I get going, is if you guys find yourself in a situation where your strings have died off a little bit, but you still want to add some life to them, at least temporarily, there's a trick that bass players use, which I find lots of guitar players don't know about. So I thought I'd show you guys that first. So what you need to do is just take your string. That's how mine currently sounds. It's pretty thuddy, pretty dead. And I loosen it off all the way. Okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take that string in my right hand. I'm just going to pull it and let it snap. So in essence, what you're doing is you're just popping the string here. And if you just go around the string and do that, the dust and the grime kind of comes off the string. And as you continue to tighten the string back up, keep doing that. Just try to get it, make sure it's not off the edge of the fretboard there. Pop, pop, especially around here. Listen. Bring it up to pitch. And it brings back, I mean, these strings are so dead that it doesn't work quite as well as it did a couple months ago. But anyways, that takes back, it brings back some of the life in the string. Like here's my A, here's my E. So it sounds a little crisper. So that's just a little trick. It's called popping the strings. Or that's what I call it. Anyways. Okay, so let's get going. I'm back, and I've got my strings loosened off. Some of them are out. And, you know, usually, quite often, I just do these one at a time, because I know that's what you're supposed to do. It's better for the neck. But to be frank, this guitar is quite old. Well, relatively speaking, it was made in 2001, and it's the most stable guitar I have in terms of tuning stability. So it's like a rock. It never goes out of tune. So I'm not really worrying about that right now, especially because I really want to get in here and clean up this fingerboard, get all that gunk out of the grooves on the frets, get all the dust off this pick guard, and everything like that. So let me just continue taking these bad boys out, and I will check back with you guys in 1 second. Polishing, polishing, polishing my pickguard, getting all the crap and stuff off of my pickguard. Yeah, I mean, this thing, you know, when you play your guitar a lot, you get a lot of gunk. You get a lot of gunk on it. That's just the way it is. So when I'm polishing up the body of my guitar, I don't like using a polishing agent or anything like that. I just use a rag these days, you know. And that's about it. Same thing with the fingerboard usually. Although I think today I am going to do a little bit extra on the fingerboard just because it has been a while. It's been about 5 months or so since I changed my strings. So I'll get to that next. I got a little bit left of this Hans lemon oil. I'm just going to put a dab on this rag here. And there's almost nothing left in here. I'm going to just gently rub down the fingerboard here. Try to get every single fret nice and shined up here. You know, the frets on this guitar, I got this guitar in 2017. And it came with vintage frets. So very skinny, very narrow, not very tall. And it's getting to the point, I've already had to have a fret dressing done on this guitar and leveling. It's getting to the point where I think within the next, 6 months or so, I'm going to have to get a refret because they're getting pretty small. And I would like something maybe just a little bit larger. I'm looking for someone who maybe does stainless, because I don't want to have to deal with that again on this guitar. I don't want to have a whole bunch of material taken off the fingerboard. I have an old Fender Strat Plus from the 1990s, and I've had to have that guitar refretted about 3 times already, and I'm starting to lose material on the fingerboard. And I don't like that, because I really like the shape of this neck, and I don't want to lose any rosewood. So if anyone knows anyone who does a refret in stainless in the Ottawa area for a good price, okay, not expensive, because some people do it for a lot of money. I'm not really into that. I'm looking for a good deal, but someone who's going to do it well, you know. One thing that I like doing just gently here is taking a nail file and just going next to every single fret very gently on either side, just to get the gunk out. Okay, this is a well-worn nail file. I'm not doing anything crazy to my guitar here. I'm just trying to get some of the gunk off this fingerboard. And I have to follow the radius because this guitar has a 7 1/4 radius. So I'm just trying to just gently do that. And I don't know if it's, you know, in my head, if it's like psychosomatic or if it actually does anything. But once you do this and you get it all polished off, I find it makes a bit of a difference. Alright, the frets are polished up, feeling really, really nice. I got all the gunk off that fingerboard. I generally don't even clean off the back of my neck, just because I'm not a super sweaty-handed person, so I kind of just like the way it feels. Just going to go over it maybe lightly with the rag, but that's about it. Let's crack open these strings here and see what we got inside. So looks like we have, 3 individual packs of strings. And these are just the regular old Ernie Ball Slinky or whatever. They're the 11 to 48, so they're just nickel style strings. So I'm going to crack these bad boys out of here. Come on, baby. Let's get this packaging off there. Good. Yeah, we got 6 individually wrapped strings. Nice. So I'm going to grab what I assume is the low E here. Yeah, feels like it. And I'm going to feed this through the back of my guitar. Now, carefully uncoil it. I don't want to poke myself in the face, anything like that. I like the back of this guitar. It's really easy to get the string through here. I find. Yeah, it just slides right in. Some Strats, you have a lot of trouble, getting it through that tremolo cavity. This one is really great. Gerard Melanson, who made these guitars, had his hardware made by Godo. And they just make the best stuff, I find, String saver saddles is what I've got on this guitar, because I hate breaking strings on gigs. And ever since I installed these, I've broken no strings on gigs. And you guys know me, I play really hard, so that's definitely saying something. Some people say, oh, they do something to the tone, but I find that these newer Graphtec string saver saddles that just basically look like regular saddles with a small graphite insert, they don't suck any tone. In my opinion, they sound great. So I've got them on my 2 Melansons, my 2 main stage guitars. Now I like to leave a fair bit of string, more than some people. So what I do is I take my hand here at the 12th fret, or right around the 12th fret, and I just spread my fingers out. And it gives me about 4 winds around the peg. Some people say that's too much, but for me, again, with my kind of aggressive playing style, I just like tuning stability, and it may be false, but I find that the tuning becomes more stable when I just have a little bit more winds around the peg. So I like to hold it here at the headstock and tighten it up. Funny thing about this guitar is, you know, the bridge is made by Godo, but these tuners are actually Grovers. So I don't know if someone installed those after the fact or when they had this guitar built they requested those, but in either case, I love them. I think they're really great. So I'm just tightening the string up. Seems like we got about 4 winds here around this peg. I like to hold the string down with my index finger here next to the tuning peg. And then, you know, I'm going to do this with all the strings, but I'm not going to bore you guys with all that footage. But what I like to do is get the string basically up to pitch, and then I'll just stretch it. Like I'll bend it at every single fret. I'll take it with my right hand and just stretch it out. Not in a non-aggressive way. I think it's important because the string has to get, you know, it has to get stretched out, right? And I'm just going to keep stretching it. And it's starting to maintain its pitch now. Okay, good. I'm going to do that for the rest of the strings, and then I'll come back and we'll hear how it sounds. Alright, so I'm back. I've snipped off the end of these strings so I don't poke myself in the face. And I think I'm in tune. People often ask me, how do I tune without a tuner? And it's just something I've been doing for my whole life. I mean, obviously being visually impaired, I have many reasons to not use a tuner. But yeah, you know, for me, I can kind of feel when it's A440-ish. It might be a couple cents in one direction, but it feels right to me. You know, some people think I've got perfect pitch. I'd say I've got something close to it. I know some people who have real perfect pitch, and it's a pretty amazing thing. I think I'm pretty darn close, but some things, you know, it's hard for me to tell cents, you know, whether I'm a couple cents sharp or flat. And this is the chord I use to tune. It's an A sus2. So I'm on the 2nd fret of D and the 2nd fret of G. And I like that because it's very close to just hitting the open strings. But it gives you a tonal framework to work around. Often I leave my B string just slightly flat, because I know how pesky the B string is. God, don't get me started about the B string, man. But yeah, let's play around a bit and just see. It takes a while to stretch them out, but it's getting close, man. I'm pretty impressed. I gotta say, I haven't played these Ernie Ball strings for a long time, but they kind of feel like D'Addario XLs to me. So I don't expect them to last quite as long as those NYXLs, but I'll try to keep you guys posted on how long I keep these on my guitar and if I ultimately like them or not. In the comment section below, please do let me know, do you like Ernie Ball strings, and have you found these multi-packs for as good a deal as I have online? Again, I got these, it might have been like a Black Friday sale or something like that, but it, you know, $16 for 3 sets, so it's, you know, just a little over $5 per set, which is pretty awesome. in Canada. That's an amazing deal on strings. So I'm pretty happy. So that's about it for this week. We will see you guys and girls again next Tuesday.